Hi, I'm JP and today I'm going to do a 21-minute rowing and stretching session. I would love for you to join me. Today we're going to be working on our groin, our lower back and our butt. So grab a rower, grab a box, a brush shaft and let's do this.
I get all tongue-tied, want you to know me, but I'm way too shy. I can't just go around admitting that it's you I like.
Normally we start on the rowing machine to warm up, but today we're going to do some movements off the rower to get ourselves limbered up, get ourselves moving and grooving. And then for our workout, we're going to be on the rower for 4 minutes, nice and steady. And then we'll do 3 minutes of strength / stretching. And we'll do 3 total rounds of that. So let's start off with our movements off the rower. These just to get us moving. So first up, feet shoulder width apart. You're going to sit back as if you're onto a sofa and back up. It's quite a low sofa, but trying to keep our back nice and straight here as we go. I'm just going to go for about 30 seconds. No set reps. Really trying to let your knees follow your toes rather than kind of collapsing all in. Stay nice and strong. Our stretches and stuff today, we're targeting the groin and the outside of the legs, kind of the butt, lower back. So these squats are a good way to kind of prime that. Alrighty. Next up then, into a plank position, arms straight, and from there we'll go bum up in the air, touch a toe, back to our plank, bum up in the air, touch the other toe, into our plank. And let's just go hand to foot, hand to foot. The higher here we go with our bum, the better that stretch will be down the back of the legs. And we're really trying to fight to keep our legs straight rather than letting them just bend. Okay, let's go back onto our feet. Let's do those squats again. Really trying to sit back with that bum. Feel the weight kind of under the leg rather than being like forward in the toes. Now we're warming up off the rower today because I want to get a little bit of movement into our spine. Let's go back on our hands. If your spine gets tight or stiff, you're going to feel a lot less mobile, a lot less young. If you ever hurt your back or you pull a muscle in it or whatever, you soon realize how much you use it every single day, just for everyday tasks. So we want to keep that nice and supple, keep it moving. Okay, let's make both of those movements a little bit more challenging. Our squats this time are going to be lunges. So we'll take a nice big step back. Nice big step back. Focusing our weight here on the front leg. And as we step back, try and step out to the side rather than a tightrope. A bit wobbly that. And get that nice, strong, stable platform. One more. Lovely. For our spine, this time we're going to be on the floor, knees together nice and tight. If you aren't sure if they're tight enough, you could set something between them. Hold it there. We're going to hold something in front of us, and if you don't have it, just like shark fin. And from there, we'll rotate that body. Keep the arms straight. So we set that down, rotate the body. Keep your arms straight as we set that down. Just going to go slow and controlled, side to side. A couple of common things we see here with Russian twists especially is fast, uncontrolled movement and bent arms. And you can see there's not a huge amount of load or difficulty with that. We're going to make this challenging so that our body benefits. One more. Nice. All right, we'll do both of those again. Starting off with our lunges. And hypothetically, if you maybe forgot to set your watch, now is a good time to correct that. Get it all kicking off. Count those calories, eh? So our rowing today is not going to be hugely demanding from a, not going to use a lot of anaerobic energy or a lot of strength. We're just building that broad aerobic base. I think whenever you go for a walk, you don't really get hugely out of breath. You're just doing a low level of work for a long period of time. Nice. And then back to our Russian twists. As we go here, really trying to push your ribs down, kind of slouching that back a little bit. Gold standard here would be to get our arms perpendicular to the body. I may or may not have pulled a muscle in my ribs the other day. And so that's a little bit tight. And again, tempting here just to like open the legs, but hold that tension. Want to build that strength from our toes to our fingers. Nice. Okay. 2 more movements. First one, we're going to be with a bent leg, bent enough that we can straighten out our back, and from there we'll try to form a straight line from our finger to our finger, and we'll rotate. Nice, that required a lot of thought, hence the complete radio silence. Okay, and then we'll pair that up. We're going to get our legs at right angles, both legs are locked, and then if we face out this way, this right arm's going to be up. We're going to turn, reach towards the ground, and back up, keeping those legs locked. As we reach between the legs, so this leg is pointed out to the side, that's the hand that we stick down. Nice. And we'll swap it over. This is a nice all body exercise. Again, getting us limber from our toes to our fingers. Making sure all our joints are nice and free so we can get more out of our strengthy stretch exercises today. Okay, nice. One last time through that. Bent legs so we can keep a straight back. Swing those arms. Nice. And then back to our stiff leg windmills. Legs stay nice and locked. So we're trying to rotate that high arm. Letting that shoulder go through its full range of motion. So when we're off the rower today, we're going to go through 3 different movements. Swap it over. Now, one's called the Hawaiian Squat, one's the Cossack Squat, one is a dislocate. Now the names aren't overly important. What's important is how we do them and what we get out of them. Nice. Just serenaded there by our local grass cutter. Super. Okay, so let's figure out our movements here. With the Hawaiian Squat, if I was to get my little box out here, I'll build a bit for it. This is a great place to start. If you think about, you're sitting down, got your legs crossed over. From there, we're going to stand and sit. Now, I know I made that look quite simple. It's my job. So let's get your weight over and you'll feel that stretch, and you're trying to push into the stretch as you push through the floor. Whoa, and that becomes our nice, strong Hawaiian squat. Now, that's obviously relatively high. We could go to something that was lower and do the same kind of, oh my goodness, that's very, very ambitious, JP. Very low. Let's see. There we go. Nice. Nice. And you'll feel how active that bum is as you go through. Now, the reason I like doing that to a target is that there's a little bit of inherent safety there. You think, oh sweet, I'm not going to die. Worst case scenario, I just fall onto the seat. Great. We're going to be doing 5 on each side, and then we'll move on to some Cossack squats. We've done these before. We'd go with our nice wide legs. From there, we'd sit ourselves over onto one side, keep the other straight, and the toe up nice and high. Now, if you were tight in your ankles, elevating your ankle there would be pretty helpful. You could do that same thing. That allows you to get a little bit deeper. And we want to try to get that hip down as close to the ankle as possible here. Now, again, not to show off, but it's my job. So I'm quite mobile. So I'm going to challenge myself today to have my foot higher and sit quite deep with those. And that's really going to hit that groin and the inside hamstring. Groovy. We'll do 5 of those on each side, and then we'll finish off with our dislocates. So I'm putting on a weight to my brush shaft here. You can use a towel if you don't have a brush shaft, but the stick actually holds a nice tension. So I'm going to go right the way around our body, shakers all the way back. My word, that's tight. And as we go here, it's tempting to lift that chest up, to really extend the body as you go there, but we want to keep those ribs down, keep that tummy tight, and instead we get the movement from the shoulders. Big shrug up, big pinch back, all the way around, all the way back. So again, we'll do 5 of those. If we have time, then we'll finish with 5 the opposite way. That way. But 3 minutes is not a lot of time, so we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's go on to our rower. Okay there, Lily. Oh, she's having a wee snooze in the shade. So, with our steady work today, we don't need to strap in. We can do this at rate 18. Practice creating pressure through our feet. But if we go select workout, new workout, intervals time, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then press the arrow until we get the rest time to flash. I'll put that up to 3. So set time is 4 minutes, set rest time 3 minutes, and tick. 3 total rounds, 20 minutes of work. Let's do it. Grab the handle, tension, row. Nice. Nice. You're welcome today, of course, to work harder on the rower, but I find especially these sort of strength and stretching sessions, going a little bit more conservative feels better, allows me to get more out of the work off the rower. And also, you don't have to beat yourself up every day. You just go through the motions sometimes. So if you are going nice and steady like I am, a good way to improve over time is every session you do, just focus on one technical thing. So for some people, it might be locking the arms out and keeping them locked as long as possible in your stroke. There. There. If you're already doing that, you might think about keeping your ribs down rather than flaring your ribs up. Helps you engage your muscles better by keeping them down. Others might be thinking about pushing your bum back before swinging your shoulders. Like that rather than like that. Either way, just pick one and work on it every stroke. If you try to pick 2 or 3, you're gonna melt your head. And none of them will get better. And then the next session, you'll have to work on them all over again. And just pick one thing at a time and practice it, not so that you can do it, but so that you can't do it wrong. Nice. Just feeling those lungs starting to open up a wee bit. It can be challenging at these lower rates to apply pressure, but we focus on creating distance every stroke there by accelerating and pushing hard. It'll carry over to our higher rates and we'll get so much more out of it. Nice work. We've got about 30 seconds. Then we're going to start off with our Hawaiian squats. So that's leg over. Then we'll go to our Cossack squats, set of dislocates, and if we have time, set of reverse dislocates. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3 minutes. Now, don't feel like you need to do this at the same time as me. Just go at a nice steady pace. 5 reps. Jeez, that's low. Well, I did say it was stretching. Nice, you might be wondering why we're not just sitting in a position and holding it. Well, that's all well and good, but we notice our flexibility the most when we go to do a movement and we can't get through the range of motion. And so by actively working that full range of motion, Jakers, that is low, isn't it? Sorry, by actively working that range of motion, we build strength throughout it, and we unlock that now as new range that we can control, that we feel safe in. That's not to say there isn't a place for static stretches. There totally is. But this is just a different way to work the problem that you may not have done before. Those were atrocious. Okay, I'm going to go on to my Cossack squats. Leg up. Again, it's just 5 reps. Taking a lot of care and time to get nice shapes. Hold your muscles engaged. Again, I often see people rushing through movements because they're hard. They're hard movements. But by rushing through them, we miss a lot of the benefit. Okay, other side. Definitely went too slow this time, so I'm not going to get all my dislocates done. But next time, I'll get through them a little quicker. That'll be sweet. Okay. 30 seconds. I want to give myself 10 seconds to get back on the machine. And again with these, it's not a position you may be comfortable with. Temptation is to try to relax, release tension to make it easier, but we want to hold tension so we get strong. Okay, back in the machine. Oh, that's a bit tight. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So that's how our session runs. I might even go in reverse order next time. So we start with the shoulders and then go to the legs. And again, you could just do the strength exercises and not do the rowing, but by doing the work here on the machine, we make those muscles nice and pliable. They're warmer, they're stretchier, so that we are then working through our full range and given the opportunity to start taxing the ligaments, the tendons, making sure they're strong. They have their range of motion as well. Nice. Still focusing laser eyes on that one technical point. We work on technique the same way we work on building habits, one at a time. It's always tempting to try to do more, try to work and improve more things at once, but we just divide our attention. So each one only gets a third of the opportunity to be successful. And then when life gets busy or we get distracted, we stop doing some of them, we lose motivation. Just focus on doing one. Oh, that was a nice stroke. There we go. Every so often it just happens. What's that old phrase? The better I get, the luckier I am. Sometimes you just hit the sweet spot. It feels like you get way more power. The legs feed the hips feed the torso, torso swings the arms. One minute. Opportunity here today to work on those things that are easy to skip out on. Flexibility, mobility, range of motion. "15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm starting with dislocates. Ribs are down, arms are locked. Big old shrug. Now with this one, if you're super struggling, wider. Wider makes this easier. So order of sequence would be as wide as possible with no load. Then as wide as possible with load. Then with that same load, start working narrower. And you'll reach a point where you can go pretty close together, at which point we add on more load, and we'll probably have to go wider again. And then with that same more load, working narrow, and over time we just get stronger and stronger through that range, holding our tension, keeping those ribs down, getting those shoulders nice and open. Okay, on to our Cossacks next. So we do a lot of desk work, a lot of driving. Even when we're rowing or sitting down, the shoulders are kind of hunched forward. So the shoulders get into that like closed position. Those dislocates really open up the chest, open up your biceps, free that shoulder to restore its full range. Last one. Nice. And same thing with our Cossacks here as we did in our squats. We'll let that knee follow the toes rather than it collapsing in. With a lot of our movements, your body will look to find tension. And if it can't create tension, it's going to use your bones to like block. And that blocking, that stopping movement will feel like tension. Nice. Oh, much freer this time. That's cool. Hopefully you're finding the same. You're getting a little bit more movement each round. We've got, whoa, we have not long. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Last round. Oh, I'll tell you what, my hips feel great after that. Fantastic. An added bonus of doing strength work for our mobility is that it helps us keep our heart rate up a little bit. So instead of us having a fairly flat line response, our heart rate is still up there. We're still getting benefit from that. That higher heart rate gives our body the opportunity to provide more fuel to the muscles. Again, another thing I've seen in gyms and workouts, people are scared to get that heart rate too high, or the opposite. They're scared that unless their heart rate's high, workout isn't good enough. Both are right. You want it to be low, you want it to be high. It's by having the ability to have both, we create freedom with our fitness. When you're walking up a mountain and you get to a steep bit, your heart rate is going to shoot through the roof because your body is demanding more oxygen to fuel that more work. But if you need to stop because your heart rate is high, then you're going to start cooling down and you're going to get in trouble up the mountain. You want to be able to keep going even if you have to slow your pace a little bit. Equally, If all we ever do is have that high heart rate, then our ability to just do simple tasks like walking and moving stuff around the house is going to have a very acute response. We got 90 seconds left here. This last minute here to think about that one technical focus for today. Last 18 strokes here to work on it. Good gang. Not working super hard here. Just moving and grooving. This could be done like a recovery session, or just as your normal work session. Have it as a lower intensity day. Always find Thursdays are good for low intensity, and Sundays I feel like low frequency days, eh? 5, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Let's kick things off then with our Hawaiians to finish. Ooh. A little bit sweaty now. This single leg work as well, both the Hawaiians and the Cossacks, super good for building balance, stability through the ankle, the hip, the knee. One more. Trying to create that tension from your butt. Push down onto your knee. Have that foot that's on the floor, gripping the floor. It's not just relaxed there. It's actively trying to like root itself into the floor like a tree. One more. Nice. Leg up. Really trying to hold that straight leg fully straight, open it up to the sky. Over time these just get better. When you focus on quality, they just get better. So whether your heel's elevated, whether you're doing a partial range of motion, that's all groovy. Just give yourself the chance by doing it well to get better. Nice, so we'll finish with our dislocates. Nice. So if one of your goals is to improve your range of motion, that's awesome. This is a great session for it. I have a very quick 40-second video. I'll link it in the description and just at the end of this video. You can check it out. It might help you achieve those goals a little bit more successfully. Swap it over. Just because we went less intense today doesn't mean you need to do any more. Focus on the quality and the recovery. Recovery is as important as the sessions that you do. Okay, as always, thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate it. If you need more help with your workouts at home, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.